What's sippin', homies? Welcome back to the Love, Peace, and Bacon Grease podcast for a very, very special one. I'm getting tatted. Over to my side right here is my man, buddy, owner of In the Skin Tattoos, oldest tattoo shop in the Pasadena area, I would say. I don't know how far along, just pretty much Pasadena in general, right?
Yeah. I mean, because we've been in business since I can't even remember when because the original guy opened the shop early '90s, and then we moved up here in 2000. But it's been, I think it was '92.
Okay.
Yeah, 1992. So
yeah, because you see them come and you see them go. You see them come, but not In the Skin, man. In the Skin is thriving, and we used to kick it here all the time. And by we, I have had cousins come through, I've had friends come through, and then even Squish has notoriously been running around here from a baby. I mean, parenting at its finest. Have them at a tattoo shop, and you like the sweet sounds of it, man. But when it comes down to just being a homey place, this has definitely been like one of my home away from homes type of deal. So I'm always happy when I'm back here getting inked up, which I'm going to be doing right now. So Buddy's going to be actually drawing on.
It all starts with crayons, right?
Yep, that's it, man. If not crayons or dirt on the walls, and then have my mom yell at me later on, man. But being up here, man, I think this has been the only location the shop has been, right?
Actually, no. We've been in several. So originally in '92, in the very back office, the original owner had a little spot back there.
Oh, okay.
And Maya, who works here with me still, was back there at that point. So she's actually the oldest In the Skin person that's been here. But at the same time, she left and came back. So
that's cool.
I'm the longest standing person that's been here. But at the same time, so what were we saying? Back there, '92, then moved down to Colorado Boulevard.
Okay.
And we were down there for a bunch of years on El Molino in Colorado.
Oh, okay.
And then we moved up here in 2000 when they tore the building down there.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah. So
oh, man. All right. So, so it's definitely been a journey. And I think just seeing, because I've only went to one other tattoo shop before and actually I don't even remember the name of it, but it was in Old Town. Oh, maybe I think it was Old Town Tattoo.
Oh, yeah.
And then
they were there for a long time.
Yeah. And then but it's like one of those, well, you see it closed, it turned into multiple things, but now it's an empty building again. But that's the way Pasadena changes, though. But essentially, I always love hanging out at tattoo shops, man, because you see all walks of life of people walking in and out, and just it's funny to me, man. So, what would you say one of your most unique experiences, either tattooing somebody or just somebody who's come in? Because I'm sure there's stories for days of people that come in.
Oh man, yeah. I mean, it's hard to say with that. I think when it comes to like tattooing, people always ask me like, oh, what's your craziest tattoo or this and that or whatever. I guess like what you were getting at is like I feel like I'm more surprised by people than I am by tattoos. People will always like will always trip you out. One way or another. Good or bad.
Yeah, they're gonna give you one no matter what it is, man.
But yeah, man, it's like I've had some interesting tattoos. Sometimes people come in and it's like they'll get something that's in memory of or something like that, and that's always really cool. Because it's just cool to be a part of somebody's healing or just be a part of their like accomplishment or whatever. So I always dig that a lot with tattooing. But then sometimes people just come and get a goofy tattoo. So this dude rolled in. And he wanted a banana behind his ear, and I was like, "What's the deal with the banana?" And he was like, "I was playing video games, man." He was like smoking or whatever, and thought like, I got a banana behind my ears, so I'm thinking Donkey Kong. You know what I mean? Like, so that was always my like, what's a strange tattoo that And then I had this couple that rolled in, and they got handcuffs tattooed on them with 5150 because they both got arrested together, and they're still a couple. They're rolling hard, So.
You know what, man? It works, And I think because, I mean, obviously I've gotten my fair share of tattoos here that make no sense whatsoever, like the pink donut tattoo. Oh, you're good. The pink donut tattoo that I have, and then I think a Hello Kitty one that I had gotten from a previous artist that was here. So, definitely I think it's just sometimes, I don't know, because I think one of the misconceptions too when it comes down to tattooing is that everything that you tattoo on your body has to have a specific meaning. Like sometimes it's just meant for goofiness, at least for me.
Right.
And the donut was something that was goofy. But then to your point as well, Buddy's the one who did the the Dina Strong on my arms, which is actually one of the like I needed that tattoo like right after the fire. So I honestly like that's the one thing I hit a buddy. I was like, hey man, can you make this happen? And it's probably one of my favorite tattoos that I have to date. So it's funny, and I think it's more so just the personalities because even just working where I work, we see some characters that come in, day out, and then even just sitting in the tattoo shop, we see some of those same characters that come in and day out, man. And it just has anybody ever flipped out when they just been here? Just
Um, yeah. So I mean, like sometimes like you get your regular people where it's just like they got nerves, because getting a tattoo or whatever, you know what I mean. And then you got your people that are just over the top, you know what I mean. And like it's not really, they're not good at having something done. I literally I would say throughout my career, I've only had one person where I tattooed her, and then I was like I was like, I don't think tattoos are for you. I wouldn't suggest getting any more.
Did she wild out
she just could not stay still. She was like, hollering about it, like whatever, And it was great because years later she brings her son in for a cover up, and she goes, oh, I'm the lady that you told not to come back. I was like, I told you not to come back. I was like, I can't imagine I told anyone that. And she's like, yeah, I was like freaking out, and you said I shouldn't get any more tattoos. I was like,
I remember that. I totally remember.
I was like,
that.
I do remember.
Yeah, I do remember you. Yeah, absolutely.
That's funny, right?
Yeah, I think I ended up taking this one dude to go get tattooed up back when the shop was open in Old Town, and you would just like imagine he was a football player and stocky dude, like he worked out, and I'm thinking for him to get a tattoo to me, which actually wasn't like a really I didn't think a tough location to tattoo, which is just the arm, like just the top part right here.
Yeah, which is usually pretty easy.
Yeah, it's pretty standard. For him, I thought this was going to be cake, but he wigged out the entire time he was getting tatted up, like literally. Okay, how much longer? And it's like, dude, you're not even done with the outline. Just chillax. Okay, hold on. Hey, dude, we got some water. I just need a sip. Okay.
Right.
And then when you put the cream on, like whatever, he's like, cream it. I'm like, what? I'm like, bro, what are you doing, bro? Just do it. Can you do it, man? Can you? What do you think? And I'm like,
right.
Just whatever, man. So he ended up obviously like some botchy line work because he kept moving, he kept fidgeting and whatever. And then what's funny to me is after the fact it healed and everything. He's like, the tattoo didn't come out the way I expected it. And I go, why's that? He goes, just take a look at it, man. Some of these lines are kind of wavy. I'm like, you want to take a let's take a guess into why, And he's I mean, bro, you were moving, you were
right.
I'm like, dude.
And that's one of the hard parts of tattooing is like we got a moving canvas. It's like it's an imperfect thing, and an imperfect thing. So it's like it's not, But I always say like with tattooing, like tattooing's like I use it as a metaphor for life. Like anything you could kind of put, it has a lot of lessons to it. And it's like sometimes, it's like don't overdo it, don't overthink it. You know what I mean? Like something is as simple as it only needs 2 colors or something, and then it's like, but we always like to think it's more complex than that. Like, oh no, I got to do this and this to make it. So like your friend freaking out and that, it's the same kind of thing. It's like if you go ahead and you freak out all the time, you're making something way bigger than it is. It's like you're struggling all the way through it. But if you breathe and go through it, you get tattooed, then it's fine.
Yeah, you go through it, you chit chat, and you do a podcast while trying to do it. I mean, but either ways, it's
at least right now I'm only drawing, right?
That's it.
Take a look and see what you think.
There we go.
And I could draw it again too. You don't have to. It doesn't have to be the first
I
go.
think that's actually pretty much nailed
2
that,
leaves
man.
good. You want
2
3 leaves? Like
you know what? If we could add a 3rd leaf on there, and then I could claim that to be me, Amy, and Squish. So. That'll work. If we could add 1 more leaf in there.
That was me imposing my will. I threw that in there.
You threw it and I picked on it. I like that, man. So, and I think you're absolutely right, man. But sometimes I think it's just the psych. People psych themselves out a whole lot more than it needs to be. Because I've seen this dude get cracked on the football field. And honestly, like...
Yeah, right. Like he's tough as nails.
I would rather get a tattoo than get cracked like where my whole body will feel it for days on after that.
Right.
As opposed to knocking out, this. So... so to me it was just kind of funny that that's the way he was. And then I think the one that was like the aha moment was just like, wait, do we have to do it color? He's like, well, you wanted a color. He's like, yeah, but the color's going to hurt so much more. I'm like, huh? I'm like, all right, bro. I mean, well, whatever, dude. Like,
Hey, the pain is temporary. The
yeah,
tattoo is
it's
forever.
forever,
You know what I mean?
man.
You're gonna forget about how it
Yeah,
felt. You know what I mean?
yeah. That's how they said it.
That-
What was it?
That's why people have more than one baby.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
right.
You forget about it, and
You
then
forget
you like
about
do
it.
it
You go
again.
through it again. Like, oh Lord Jesus, no, not again.
What was I
not,
thinking?
not again, not again. You know. But then, yeah, like, and then I think more so, and then you have some people that at least from being in a tattoo shop. This one lady ended up rolling into the shop, and she was very adamant about what she wanted. She wanted her boyfriend's, fun stick tattooed across her, behind,
Oh God.
and then he goes, well, and the tattoo artist at the top was, I mean, we can, but we would need a picture. She goes, I got it right now, and that is to scale, not blown up. I was like, and I didn't see the picture, thank God, but he goes, you know what? I just remember hearing the tattoo artist say, he should be really proud. So I could only imagine what that looked like. Like I said, I wasn't there to thank God see or any of it. So it's funny, man, and I think it's just more so. And then you got the other people too that are scared to get the tattoos, but then some people that get tattooed up but then claim that it doesn't hurt. So what do you think about what's your stance on that? Do tattoos hurt?
I say that yes, they all hurt. You know, when the person says it doesn't hurt at all, it's if you have a lot of tattoos, then you got something to gauge it by.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you got a tattoo on your ribs or on your chest, and you get one on your arm, and you're saying it wasn't, it didn't really hurt, then because it really isn't that bad.
Yeah.
Like on the outside of the arm.
Yeah.
But as far as no, I would never mislead somebody that feels like a hot scratch.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So
that's because you hear that. I think I hear that the most. Tattoos don't hurt. I'm like, you're stupid. They absolutely.
That's
100%.
Because they forget about it. Like
yeah,
I said,
I guess so. It might be because I mean, your face is telling me a whole different story when you're getting it done at that time. You're literally going,
Yeah, and then on top of that, it's like you figure like with a tattoo. It's like, yeah, it hurts, but it's not anything you can't handle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know that. You got lots of tattoos. So it's like, so when you see somebody that's like doing like your friend was and that, it's like, you got it in you, man, to like relax.
And we try to, we tell them just, dude, breathe.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people
hold
hold
that's the hardest part, yeah.
Like, breathe, bro. Like, what you doing, man? So but yeah, that's I think that where I tell them too. I'm like, because every tattoo that I've got, they've all had pain to a certain level, some more than others. But yeah, I've seen the people that do the ribs, and then and it's like, dude, yeah, you got balls to do that, man. Because I could never do that.
Man. That's for real, yeah.
I could never do it. But then you have like Amy, because I think with Amy, I don't know if you remember when she came in and did her back, she fell asleep on the chair.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, like, okay, so now that's a whole different level of pain tolerance. And again, she gave birth, so I guess that's what she's gonna go based off of. But she was just straight up, and I'm like, whoa, she's really fell asleep. I'm like, all right,
So on this right here, I think I'm gonna do the two larger ones, and then I'll do a little one right here. I'm not gonna do this little one up here.
Okay.
Where it, like from the stem.
Sweet.
But you like the shape and everything?
Yeah.
That's perfect. We'll do green and red.
Yep.
And yeah, okay, cool.
Sweet. Looks good.
All right, let me set up some machines and we'll rock and roll.
Sweet. So, all right. So here's the stencil right now. So again, if you've never got a tattoo and this is like the first time, it all starts with the stencil. With your design, first it starts with the artist. So make sure you guys definitely pick an artist that you vibe with, because their collective faith is in their hands for the next hour, 2 hours, or if your buddy, he tattoos hella quick. So, quality, fast tattooing. However, I mean, if you go, and I think it's a lot of times when you go to like those cheap shops, if you go to like Venice Beach or wherever those, man, always vibe with your tattoo artist, and then lock down a design that you guys like, and then it'll stencil on, then it'll get put on, and then you're good to go. So definitely something you definitely want to think about when you're doing all of this stuff too, man. And just don't be like one of those tattoo dream people. Those are ones that drive me absolutely berserk. Hey man, I'm looking about get a tattoo, man. I'll see you next week. I'll come by, right? All right, cool. 3 years from now, hey man, I haven't forgotten. I'm gonna come in for a tattoo. All right, all right, cool.
You get that a lot on
Yeah,
the street.
yeah, we got that, man. Hey, we good, right? You remember me? It's like 24 years later. Hey man, finally I'm down to make this happen. Like what the hell? So those are tattoo fantasy people, man. So,
they're like, you remember me, like. And I'm like, did I tattoo you? They're like, no, I just been coming in for the last 10 years.
No,
Like,
no, we talked about the concept of you tattooing. Yeah, like we talked about it. We talked about it multiple times. So yeah. So definitely again, it's because I mean if you like what they produce, I mean there's a good chance that you'll constantly keep returning and
do that.
Yeah. And then the magic gets started. So yee. This ain't gonna hurt, right?
Not at all. Haven't you heard, man?
Yeah, that's what I heard. I heard you tattooing nowadays don't hurt. But I
always say it hurts a lot less than a broken heart.
That's very true. So. That's very true, man. Of which I had many, in my younger days, though. So as Buddy already got his machine up there, so I've seen your machine, and I forgot who else was tattooing here the other day.
Most of these guys,
the wireless ones.
Yeah.
So is there a pro or a con like to either of the tattoo guns?
Nowadays, people are using rotaries, and then a lot of people still use a coil machine. It's not that this is old school and the other way is a new way. It's like rotaries have been around forever. It's just they went ahead and kind of refined it and like made it what it is now. So some people like them. And some people like to stick with, if it ain't broken, don't fix it kind of thing.
Yeah.
So
that's and again, because obviously I don't know.
I use both. But,
it's like sometimes, I mean, would the other ones typically be easier to get into some, like crevices, like areas to sometimes get into that like?
It's not that so much. It's just that it's a whole different concept of how it puts the ink in and that. So it ends up looking the same, but, I would say that it's a little easier to use if you're don't fully know what you're doing.
Okay.
But tattooing, if you don't know what you're doing, is dangerous anyway.
In general.
Yeah, because it just, you end up with a bad tattoo. And if you're using a good machine to put in a bad tattoo, that sucks because now you're putting in lines that are going to stay.
Yeah.
Where it's like you want somebody that gets a bad tattoo to have it as light as possible,
Right. And well, that's like how you had to fix the one on my back.
Yeah.
Because it was someone who put a bad tattoo in, and before he even started shading, I said, no, man. I'm like,
we did that one. Yeah. No, we dialed that in.
Yeah, because I'm like, man, I've been tattooed enough to know that your machine is not feeling correct, man. It felt like you were pulling my damn skin, and my skin was stuck in your machine somehow, and it was all bad, man.
That's probably a barbed needle too, because sometimes when you feel it like a jab, like you could, because the needle's barbed. I mean, like it's been hit. They didn't load it properly or whatever, and so the needle has a hook on it, so it's actually pulling as it goes in.
There it is.
So, because these are made up like this is 7 needles right now. But this one's, a tight grouping.
Oh.
So one of those needles on that tattoo could have been bad.
Yeah.
And that dude just didn't know,
And he was just, and I told him, ow. He's like, oh, just because it's on your back. I'm like, bro, it ain't just because it's on my back, bro. It's because that shit does not feel correct, And then, so yeah, I had to cut him off, man, and just tell him, nah, man, you can't do this, bro, because hell no, man, that does not feel correct. And sure enough, it looked like, I think the lining looked like railroad tracks. They weren't a clean line. It just was like line, and then break, and then line, and a break. I was like, ugh.
Well, I mean, the key with tattooing is there's no good price for a bad tattoo.
Right.
So it's like, of course, you don't want to, spend an arm and a leg if you can't afford that. But like, take the time, save up or whatever, spend a little money on a tattoo, get it done by somebody that knows what they're doing.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? It's like, that's just always the best thing. You know? But I mean, yeah, God, I got loads of tattoos from people that didn't know what they were doing. We all start somewhere. So, like you said, in hindsight, I'd have got a U-Haul truck.
Unless right, exactly. And I think more so because unless you know that this is their first go at it, But his portfolio did not match what he was doing on my back,
right.
Because I think Andrew tattooed me when he first started. He actually was on this hand, the Sanity and Insanity that we have. Actually, where is it? Is it Lost and Insanity? These are
Oh, okay.
Andrew's first pulls that he did.
Nice,
But
nice.
but again, it's like you knew he's starting off, and you just said, you know what, I know that you're starting off, so just go at it. And then you can't be mad at the end results at that point. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah, this is somebody I know. I'm giving them a shot.
yeah,
I mean,
and then and I'm all about that. Because at this point you could throw in a couple like little bangers in there, and I mean no one's gonna tell otherwise. But yeah, I think that's what's kind of funny about the whole ordeal. And then I think the other thing, which is the first time, because it was a while that I got tatted up before the last time I had come in, was I had seen them put like because you put the saran wrap and tape, and that's how we go out the door.
Yeah.
So, but then I think somebody else who was tattooing put like I don't know, it looked like a plastic thing that stuck to the skin.
Yeah, they use a Sanoderm now. They call it like second skin. I think the idea behind it is that it works like a blister.
Oh, okay.
So like it ends up getting fluid inside of it, and it like just kind of starts to do its own thing, protects it from any of the elements and that. And I would say it works pretty well, and I would eventually use it myself for certain areas and that. And I used it on my wife recently, and her tattoo healed really great. So
Nice.
I mean, I think it is good. It's
Okay.
It's a new product that I think is a really smart thing.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, because like I said, it was the first time that I ever seen it before. I was like, the hell is that? And then obviously I think I was in a rush, so I couldn't have time to sit there and ask. But I was like,
Right.
that's so crazy, because I saw it, I was like, whoa. And then I think one of my buddies had gotten tattooed up, and he had it on his skin. I was like, let me see it. He's like, well, how'd they release you out the shop? I go, with saran wrap and tape, fool. That's the way I've always had it done.
Right.
Nothing has changed, at least not on that front. So yeah, man. So I think all in all, man, I think when it comes down to just like tattooing, it's just always just cool to see the art in general. And you just don't tattoo, you also do paintings and all of that stuff as well,
Yeah,
right?
I do a bunch of different stuff. Like I love to create art, build things, this and that. So like for me, I just always knew, like growing up, and even now, as an adult, I just get these like urges to make something. You know what I mean? And like it almost like makes me where I can't sleep, because I'm just like thinking about like, oh, I just want to like get that creative energy.
Yeah.
So I've done sculptures, mold making.
Oh, that's cool.
All kinds of different
Yeah,
stuff.
see, I didn't know about the sculptures, but I knew about the paintings for sure.
Yeah.
And then I got to show. So once I'm done here, I'll shoot some B-roll so you can see what I'm talking about. But some of Buddy's art that he has around here to shop, man, I think that's always was kind of one of my one of my go-tos that like finding a shop essentially was like, how deep of an artist is the tattoo artist? Are they legitimately just a tattoo artist? Do they paint? Do they do some other type of fidgeting? Like, because I've met a couple too. They're like, no, man, I just tattoo. They bring it to me and I stick it on them. I'm like, oh shit. So you don't do any type of anything else? They're like, nah, not really. I was like,
and and that works. I mean, there are some people that I know that are just strictly tattoo artists, and they do really well at it. But it's like, I feel like everybody that tattoos has that artistic element to them. It maybe just, I feel like for myself, I started doing sculptures and mold making before I tattooed, and then I started painting as a tattoo artist, and it just gave me a level of knowledge about art, and kind of got me into those other things. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
it's kind of cool, how it's like same as life. It's just an evolution of artisticness along with knowledge that you gain from other areas,
for sure. And I think, but I mean, but as a consumer standpoint, it's like, I think that's what we love to see is just an artist that's a true artist. Some people don't. I mean, some people are okay with it, but again, it's important because they're putting stuff on your skin.
Man, absolutely.
To fully love it, though, man. So why tattooing? When did you realize that this was the calling in life, that you're going to be a tattoo artist?
I mean, for myself, it's like tattooing was a totally different thing when I started tattooing, and I'm not, a lot of time's gone by. So like, I'm a little more old school now, but like, I don't think of it like that at all, because when I first started, I mean, those guys were old school.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, these were like, bikers and military guys, and like, just, street stuff. And it's like just a really whole crazy evolution that it's come to now of what it is. So for myself, I just was getting tattoos. I was a punk rock kid and like skateboarding and that, and just kind of growing up. it was just kind of went with the crowd we were running with. You know what I mean? So then I had a friend, my friend Tom, who was working in a shop, and then my friend Frank had got him a job. But so when my sculpting that I was doing and mold making, I had a little bit of an issue, and just it's hard to make money as an artist. You know what I mean? So he hit me up for a job, and I was like thinking, oh yeah, okay, I could be like, they're gonna teach me how to tattoo or something. So I originally got a job doing body piercing.
Oh wow!
And then I started at Tattoo Mania in Hollywood. And I did body piercing there, and then shortly after, I was like, man, I wanted a tattoo, But at that time, it wasn't just like something that you just got into. You had to be invited in, or you had, this and that. It was like, an apprenticeship was not easy, or there wasn't, this was before cell phones and internet.
Yeesh.
You know what I mean? So it was like, when you wanted something, we pulled a book out, So it was a whole different. This was an old school street shop. So I started picking up on tattooing and that, and kind of, went from there. Ended up leaving that place, went to Covina for a minute, and then ended up over here at In the Skin for where I've been here since 1998, I think, something like that.
Wow.
So
that's that journey, man. That's
so it wasn't a plan as much as it kind of just happened and made sense. You know what I mean? So it was a way for me to go ahead and be an artist and put some food on the table for my family.
For sure.
So
do they still do apprenticeships?
Well, yeah, nowadays it's just crazy because you could just buy something online or whatever. And it's just kind of like, the business is a little saturated because of the popularity of it. And so the bad part is those machines are getting in the hands of people that are looking for an easy way out, or they're looking for this or that. It's not like they want to work more. It's like there's a lot of people that want to work less. Yeah. And they think the way to do it is like, I could tattoo and make my own hours and do it. And it's like, Yeah, but then it's crazy. You bought some of these tattoos, you're not going to have a clientele. Well, not only that, but if your whole main part of it is because like, I can have a cool lifestyle and I can make a bunch of money. It's like, well, then that's the wrong. What I mean? It's like, it's not. And the same could be said about anything, because we hear the same thing in the YouTube community as well. It says, I'm going to jump on there. I'm going to be an influencer. I hit 1,000 subscribers, about to make chips. Yeah, because like, people start thinking about it as a money grab rather than like having a passion for it. Yeah, but if you ain't got no flavor, man, it ain't gonna work out that way. So in many ways, I can see the two, man, because I saw. Have you seen them shows, like some of those shows that pop up? Like there was one that was what was it, Tattoo School, where they teach people to tattoo? Oh, was it like, I haven't seen that. No, I only watched some of the first shows. Yeah. Originally when they came out, I had some friends that were on the shows, and it was it is interesting, but I don't know, like that helped out tattooing, but I think in the end of it hurt it more. Yeah. But yeah, those tattoo school ones, those are ridiculous. Yeah, I was like, wait, what? Like, and then I think we'll teach you how to tattoo in 90 days. Yeah, I'm like, what is this? It's like, yeah, okay. I'm like, because I had heard a lot of tattooers too were just like, what the hell is this, man? And I'm like, just TV, man. And it's like, just, everyone's like, oh yeah, that's the way. Let's learn to tattoo, Yeah. I got a whole theory behind all that kind of stuff, because like they started making shows about everything. I mean, you can't even collect a comic book nowadays, or go to a yard sale. Somebody's like, look at all, like, well, this is a such and such, Yeah. Like, not that you want to get ripped off or anything, but it's just like, it's like every cool collectible and everything that you could do has been mainstreamed when they came up with 100%. With like reality TV. Yeah. You know what I mean? Pawn Stars, or even like with stuff like everything's on display now. Like, yeah. So I call it nothing sacred. Yeah, nothing sacred. Nothing anymore, man. It's true, because then even like you have the shoe game, because the shoe game's like huge on there. Like what shoes can you use, or ones that are more popular than others and stuff like that too. Right. But yeah, it's very true, man. And then they have like the other shows, like the competition ones too, where it's like Ink Master and all of those too as well. But it's like, I went through the rabbit hole too, man, and watched all of them, and I was like, oh yeah, it's it's TV, it's entertaining, what I mean? And it's like, if it's not something that you do, then you get a glimpse into it from a different angle of 100%. What you would get to see as a regular person. Yeah, and I'm like, man, that's cool. But I mean, I'm proud to say, no matter how tattooed I am, I have no interest in tattooing. I can't draw worth of shit. Not even my stick figures are good. So yeah, man. So if you weren't tattooing, buddy, what would you think your life would be? Like, what would be your other profession? Oh man, that's a hard one. I mean, I don't know. Like, I feel like for myself, it's always been something to do with art. You know what I mean? Because I was lucky enough, man, as a kid. You know, I did plumbing, I did all kinds of different things, and then, you know, this was in my early 20s, and then, but I always had like some kind of art thing going on too. You know, we were hustling the swap meet when I was a kid. You know what I mean? And then we came up with an idea to make some stuff, you know, and this and that. So that's when I started doing sculptures and mold making. So I would like to think that I would have rolled into something like that.
That's cool.
My big dream when I was younger was like I always loved the movie industry. I wanted to do like monster makeup or
that's cool.
build molds or stuff like that.
For sure.
So, but as far as the reality of that, I'd probably be doing construction, man.
Yeah, it's crazy how things change, man. Because I went actually my first major was actually computer science. And then I started working in an after school program, and then I decided, you know what, I don't want to sit in front of a computer like for hours on end. Like, I'm good. So I switched it over to child development, and then that became my major after that. And then after that, I stepped away because, again, times change, people change, kids change, and it just wasn't for me anymore. So I was like, you know what, now that I'm, what I like to call myself a paper pusher now behind the desk, it's just funny how life just kind of evolves that way,
What do they say? God laughs when we make plans.
Yeah, or if you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans.
Yeah,
because like, you don't know how. Again, you don't know how things are gonna work out, and I think that's the same thing I tell Squish. I'm like, dude, you know what? It's crazy because I know a lot of kids, her age, they already know what they want to be in life, and I'm like, it's just crazy because that will not. It could work. It very well could work out. But then a lot of the times it's not. It's just literally just what the dreams are as of now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So until they actually start going toward it, it pretty much is just kind of a dream right now.
I think I've gotten, accomplished most of the things that I've done or gotten to the point that I am by not just like, it's not always 100% skill. It's like that little bit of like talent, and then backed up with a whole lot of like just not giving up. You know what I mean? And like really like having the desire to like want to do something. You know what I mean?
And that's what it is. And I think if we talk about what's really lacking nowadays in like today's society in general, it's just the fear of failure. A lot of the times for today's generation, you fail one time and it's like, oh, I can't do this, and that's it. That ends the run. But I don't know how many different times I had to fail to do every single thing.
It's a learning experience every time.
That's what it is. You learn and you do it. Even something as of just recording something, like it was because I hadn't bought like all this equipment I needed to rebuy. But the old mic that I used to have, if you didn't turn on the mic, there was no audio when you were recording on these devices.
Oh, okay.
But so
you go back and look at it.
I was like, oh, there's no audio. And I don't know how many footage that I had to just kind of piss away because there was no audio. Because at the time we started shooting videos and everything, mic was already built in. And surprisingly, the mics were actually not that bad on like those Sony point and shoot cameras.
Yeah, they pick up a little
better.
They
picked up pretty good, So I was like, so you never were accustomed. So when I got a mic, a mic was like a game changer. Like, oh, you know what? Hell yeah. Like this mic is like amazing. This is great. It sounds great. But then if you don't turn it on, it doesn't work. So again, it goes trial and error, man. Trial and error. We have to do this because, and then, but now you look at I got this new mic and it turns on automatically with the camera or turns off with the camera. I'm like, holy shit, we in technology now, because, I'm from the old school, man. I'm not used to things being like that easy. But again, I feel like a lot of it though is geared toward kids like trying and hoping they don't fail I say kids just meaning like today's society.
I get what you're saying. Yeah, like as the older you get, the younger or the older a kid becomes.
That's
you call somebody in their 20s a kid. You know what I mean?
Damn kid. You half my age, man.
But I feel like there's a lot of that going on where like you got social media and all this kind of stuff. So they're like people are under a microscope. Like you figure like my beliefs or like some of the things you say or something like that when you're younger. You know what I mean? It's kind of crazy nowadays because you're all on camera. To where it's like we've evolved as people or become more compassionate or more this and that as a human being. And it's like you may, not everyone started off exactly where they're at today. So it's kind of hard when you got something following you. You know what I mean? So it makes a trip. But it's like you said about the whole perfection thing and that. The only bad part is I feel like the younger kids are like seeing so much success and this and that because it's all in your face.
Yeah.
And it's like they're not seeing when your mic was bad or
Right.
when this and that or whatever, you know. They're seeing like, you know, like oh, this person's got it together. Well, they didn't always have it together.
We didn't have them.
Yeah, so I think that's what creates that like I want to start at the top kind of attitude.
100%, because you're only seeing the successes. And
right.
And you know, you see the riches, you ain't seen the rags. And then, but what's funny is that even with one of the vlogs I shot one time, I didn't have the mic on, or I connected it incorrectly. So I kept the footage in there, and I did a very piss poor voiceover over it. I was like, and I said it straight up. I was like, listen, guys, you guys know me. This isn't like I didn't go to school for this, so it's the breaks in life. I messed up.
Yeah.
There is no audio. But here's the video. So here's at one point of the video that I have no idea what happened to the audio. But there's no audio. So I'm going to go ahead and ad-lib this entire scene. So let's go. So we are here at Fiesta Village at the Cantina, and we have gotten this flight of margarita. Looks delicious. It looks bomb. I really don't know what it is, so I'm going to go ahead and put it down. And what do you think, Amy? Oh, I really do like it. Angel, oh, I really like this too. This is probably my favorite one. Oh my goodness, it's going to be bomb. Well, you know us, we like any type of margarita flights. So let's go ahead and try. Oh, look, it comes with 2 paletas. One is a mango, one is a watermelon. Oh, hey, I really like those. Oh yeah, me too, absolutely. What's not to like? Oh, and this one has pineapple, a Parkinson favorite. Oh, wow. Go ahead. Try this, Amy. Go ahead. Oh, sure. Oh, I'm telling you, it's going to be the best experience of your life. What do you think, woman? What do you think? Oh, my goodness. I like this, man. This is delicious. Actually, Amy wasn't saying anything. Oh, wow. This is great. I love it. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and try this one. What is this one? Oh, mango? Okay. Down the hatch. Nom, 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 nom. Cheers, Angel. Amy, come back. Oh, well. Amy. Oh. It's really not my favorite.
See, that's exactly how I was picturing it.
Yeah.
I'm glad they did that.
I did it because, and again, it goes back to the point that I don't want people thinking exactly what you say. I don't want them thinking that this is 100% shot all the time, done correctly. And I'll even throw behind the scenes stuff of us trying to do a take of something where it takes us 3 or 4 times because either one, I'm laughing, or 2, Amy was like laughing uncontrollably. We don't, and it's always usually with Amy. I hate to throw her under the bus. There's a good chance she won't see this anyway, but
what? She's not gonna watch?
Yeah, you know, she might because it's you and not me. But you know, where we started talking about, we went to go get candy, and she could not get it together and pronounce chocolate gummy bears, and she started laughing hysterically. I'm like, dude,
isn't that the best?
What are you laughing at? And she goes, oh my god. It's just, I don't know. So I posted it, you know, because there's a human element to it, and I think that's what goes on in a lot of what you see online nowadays. Is they forget that there is human elements that's involved in making this stuff. You know, nothing is perfect, and sometimes you just have to just put it out there as to what it is, you know?
Well, I think the nice thing is, too, is we've had so much of that, everybody trying to be perfect and everyone trying to do this and that it's getting back to true reality where people want to see
the background.
that human element of it, you know, again, instead of like the perfection, you know?
Yeah, and I think you're absolutely right, because usually those videos tend to do a little bit better because I think they get to see, or after the videos, they get to see some of the bloopers of what happens, like, what the heck?
Yeah, somebody being real.
Yeah, what am I talking about again? I'm like, dude, and I always forget. Like, I'll be mid-shot and I'll forget what I'm talking about or what I'm, you know, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I just forgot. I have no idea what I'm talking about. So,
well, that comes with age.
It very well does come with age on that, man. 100% facts, man. But yeah, so I think as far as in the grand scheme of, like, you know, tattooing, doing everything, and then you know, parent life, man. So, you know, it's always cool to see how parenting life, you know, and it's cool because Buddy over here, man, he's a girl dad as well, man, and you know, first thoughts, you know, you heard your wife was pregnant. Were you shooting for a boy?
You know, to be honest, people have asked me that, and it never bothered me. Like, I was never like, yeah, I want a boy. I want, you know, this and that, whatever, you know. Yeah, I don't know. I grew up kind of rough, so maybe maybe part of me didn't want a boy, so maybe I,
Yeah.
you know what I mean. So
And
it
you know
was
what?
like,
Until you said that right now, because I think at the very beginning I would have said, you know what, a boy would be dope. I wouldn't mind having a boy, like because you could, it's what we talked about, where boys typically are notoriously like, oh, you got a boy, they're gonna be rough, they're gonna play football, they're gonna play sports, they're gonna be the star athlete, they're gonna do
right,
this.
right.
So it's a whole different misconception of what having a boy is back then. But then, once I had a girl, it's like that all completely changed for me.
Oh
Where it's
yeah,
just
man.
from there, it's
I
like
absolutely, you know how it is. It's like I love and adore my daughter, man. It's like from the moment I seen her, I fell in love, and it was just like one of those things where you never knew a love like that.
right,
You know what I mean? And
yeah,
everybody tells you that.
yeah.
Your parents tell
And
you.
it sounds cliche, but then once you get it, you're like, damn,
Yeah, man.
damn.
It's like to have something in this world that's part of you, and then just to, I don't know. Like I said, there's just no love
Yeah,
like the love of a
it's a
child.
it's a whole different thing, man. And I think after going through that, and I think until you really said it, I think because I mean I by no means had a bad childhood. Could be rough again, in a Belizean household. Men are sometimes geared to be more tough. You have to be more brute. You have to be more this. Don't cry. Don't do type of deals.
Right.
But then I think you're right. Like once you had a girl, like the expectation is like, okay, I could now have a gentle side now. Like I don't have to be this hardened thug. Here's my little girl.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's one of the coolest things. Again, being a girl dad, and I'll be interviewing one of my homie too because I think his girl's a lot younger. And then he's just kind of navigating it. But then now we look at like Squish. Kickboxing, cross country, track,
Oh, yeah, she's a badass.
yeah, completely like unlike some other boys that are her age now, because it doesn't even seem like boys are like in that direction like that anymore.
Right, yeah.
It's
a
all
whole different thing going on.
digital now, and they're not really doing sports the way they used to do sports before, and so it's different, man.
When I was younger, I was mostly raised by women, so it's like I just always had a lot of respect for women. I respect men the same, but I mean, it's like it's just different. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's just being raised by women and then having a daughter. You know what I mean? It's like that's the one thing I just always tell my kid too is like don't see how I treat your mother and don't accept any less.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
Absolutely.
be out there, be fair, whatever. But like somebody that treats you well, that
Right.
has respect for you.
Yeah.
And but yeah, I love being a girl.
Yeah,
dad.
me too, man.
It's
It's cool, man, and I think it's so funny. Like you say, don't expect any less. Set your expectations for your life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think she had her first little boyfriend, I guess if you were to say it, right out of 8th grade, and then she cut him loose because she said, dude, his head ain't there for the academics, and he doesn't seem like he wants to do anything. I don't want that around me. And I'm like,
that's
what?
so awesome. Yeah,
I hope to God,
strong woman.
I hope you keep that mentality, man, because that's gonna fare so well for you in life, just in general. You
guys created a strong young woman.
So, man. So it's kind of cool, man. So, does your daughter have intention like having kids of her own one day, or
she would like to? She doesn't have that significant other yet. You know what I mean? That is the right one. But yeah, she definitely wants to have kids, and me and my wife would love to be grandparents.
Yeah.
But I mean, we'll see what's in the cards for us.
Yeah. That's
But yeah, I mean,
I think that's like, and I look at my parents, I look at Amy's mom too, and it's like, dude, I think just the joys of grandparenting, it's just like you hope you get that level unlocked in your life, too, because it's like they could get away with shit, dude, like, oh well, I didn't know, I did it for my granddaughter, like what the hell,
right.
And then I think it's just even funnier just to see like
we were saying earlier, you get to send them home, kind
yeah,
of thing,
and that's the deal, and it's like, but then seeing this lady, I'll use my mom. My dad is my dad, but my mom, like, I would laugh so hysterically, man, where, my Squish would look at my mom and be like, oh, Chichi, I don't want to eat that. Can you make me a grilled cheese? Okay, and go make this grilled cheese. I'm like, what the hell?
Right.
If that been me when I was her age, can I make a grilled cheese?
You're gonna eat what I made for you. Yeah.
I'm like, what the hell?
You wouldn't even you would have said it once.
Yeah,
and then never. Yeah.
I would have maybe even got the phrase out of my mouth, maybe just kind of. But then, here's the grandchild, like, oh, you think you could, like, oh yeah, sure, whatever you want.
Do that
like,
for you.
What the hell? I'm like, wait, whoa. where was this lady when I wanted a damn grilled cheese in my life? You know
It's
what I'm
kind of
saying?
funny. People say that sometimes when it comes down to like, seeing their parents with their kids, and they're like, "Who is this person?"
Yeah, the hell is
Yeah,
this? I don't
yeah.
love the hell. Yeah, so I think that's kind of like one of those things that I want to do, like in my life at certain point, because then even then I have some kind of taste of it, like even with my godchildren, like sometimes they'll be like, oh, so and so, um, mommy and dad said no, you can't have it. I go, no, you're good, man. Just have a little bit of it. You're all right. Just tell them your Nino said it was all good. Did you say it was all good? Yeah. Why? I don't know. You guys are lucky your Nino's here. It's like, all right, cool. You know what? Like, you know what? I got away with it just a little bit. So
Right,
that's just a
right.
little taste of what's to come when you're like a and granted, I don't want to be a damn grandparent anytime soon. So Squish, if
I
you're
hear
watching
you on
this,
that.
don't don't give me that shit. At least for another 20 years or so. I hope,
Yeah.
or so. But yeah, man. So I think anyway, right now, man, I think it's just looking in the state of the world, there's all these freaking uncertainties of just the way the world is right now, just the way country is, all of this stuff, man.
Right,
The
right.
one good thing that I could honestly say that like I think is true for the most part is like art, man. Like it definitely is an escape from, I think your day to day. We were talking about theme parks a little bit earlier on, and um, in many ways, theme parks are kind of like my escape. So, like, what would you consider like your escape if it is art, then art. But is there something else that you'd be like, you know what, this is what I do to just kind of unwind and just stop thinking
Um,
about things?
I just I'm very I'm about my family a lot. It's like family is really important to me. So like the time with my family is probably my escape. You know what I mean?
That's cool.
And so like personally, like as far as other beyond that, like what do I enjoy? Like watching a movie. You know what I mean? Just hanging out, keeping it simple. I like going to amusement parks too.
Yeah,
We have Disney passes. My daughter works there, so we roll out there. But it's like, I like a good movie, man. You can.
yeah,
I'm so happy. Like my daughter's trying to get into the movie industry and do that because it's like that's one of the things I always loved.
that's
Because
dope.
like when I was a kid, man, I would just you watch movies and you
Yeah,
would dream and sometimes I'll go somewhere and I'll see something like when Lord of the Rings came out. Like I'm sitting in there and I'm like watching all this and seeing the sets and everything. I'm like, oh man, I could build that. Or I could, you know what I mean? It's like
yeah,
it just gets the creative
for
juices
sure,
flowing. So like,
for
yeah,
sure.
I enjoy that stuff.
Yeah, and I'm with you on that one too, man. Because even if we sit down and just have like, even if it's just junk food or whatever, it's like those family times. It's like the
Oh yeah,
things that people take for granted. I don't take it for granted, but
right.
the thing is, it's like you won't miss it until it's not there. And in many ways, because one of the questions that somebody asked me, do you think that that Squish will leave for college in when she graduates in 3.5 years from now? And I
Right.
said, I 100% do think she's gonna leave out of town for college.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just
That's a rough one.
yeah,
My
that's
daughter did that. Yeah,
yeah.
it was rough.
So that I mean, in all honesty, it's like it's her personality, and I think we would, for us to say, you know what, I wouldn't want her to go anywhere would be selfish on our
Oh
part.
yeah, yeah.
But at the same time, it's like we real like if we just want to go to the store and she's like, "Can I go with you?" It's like, yeah, we'll tell her. I'll give her hell. In all honesty, sometimes just for fun though, like be like, "Oh God, you just want to go so that you could just grab everything you see off the shelf and put it in." But inside, I'm like, you know what? I'm loving this time, man, because
Yeah.
when she does what she does, and it may not even be till she leaves to the college. When she's a junior or senior in high school, she'll have other plans that will have going on that she'll be like, you know what? Oh, I got things going on with my friends. I want to go do this. I want to go
Yeah,
do that.
yeah. Cherish the time.
Yeah, I gotta
Most
cherish
definitely.
it. You know what I'm saying? So, past couple of those weekends that we've had these rainstorms or whatever, she just laid in bed with us and just watched whatever YouTube stuff we had going on, and
Isn't that the best?
and it's just chill. You're absolutely right. It's like the coolest thing, man, ever, man. It's because it's those times that we're really not going to be. We won't have it, obviously, like not like this. We'll probably,
Yeah.
you know, in all honesty, I think we'll always have a close connection, but it'll never be like when she was this little pint-sized, whatever amount of pounds she is,
Yeah.
82 pounds or whatever she is, like
Yeah.
still a skinny little one with a big head, but it's 100 is the best, man. And I think for me, like an escape for me is like if you've watched some of our previous stuff that we've done in the past, Like I'll just sit there and I'll barbecue outside, man, on the black stone or just on the
Oh yeah,
barbecue and
yeah.
just literally do nothing. Sometimes I don't even have music playing. I just sit out there and just listen to the sizzle, you know. And I think because that's just the best thing to go from, like, you know, the escape of the outside world to just, you know, just being in your own thoughts sometimes, you know.
Yeah.
So that's crazy, man.
That's why I always like the nighttime.
Yeah,
The nighttime is one of my favorite times. You know, like you just wind down, you know, relax, you know, this and that.
it's
It's
super.
like the day doesn't expect anything of you. You know,
That's it.
you're done.
Done.
You did what you had to do.
I'm
Yeah.
good. I've gotten through this. Thank God. You
Yeah,
know what
yeah.
I'm saying? But that's it, man. So 2026, man. What's on your list? What's on your bucket list? What's on your plans? What's on your goals?
Um, you know, I'm feeling like, you know, just grateful to be tattooing and, you know, doing what I'm doing. You know what I mean? I think, you know, I feel like a lot of times you set all these things for yourself that you want. Not that I don't have goals and desires or whatever, but it's, you know, there's been some rough times. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
man.
We're not anywhere near, you know, where you guys were, you know, and what had happened. You know, I mean, we only had, you know, we felt it business wise because
Yeah.
I have so many people that I know that lived up there, you know, so it's hurt us, you know, a little bit business wise, which, like, I hate to even say something like that because it makes me feel selfish because it's
No,
like
but
I
it's
got, you know,
yeah, but it's
but it's a
true.
reality.
It is
You
a
know,
reality.
yeah, it is a
100%.
reality. And so, you know, it's like that makes me just grateful that we're still here and that we're, you know, able to keep, you know, tattooing and having the business. And, you know, my ultimate goal is to keep this place going for, you know, as long as I can, you know,
Yeah.
until I don't even think I would ever want to retire, but, you know,
Yeah.
and then, you know, have Andrew, you know what I mean, handle the place, you know what I
Yeah.
mean, and this and that. So it's like that would be my goal with that, you know,
Yeah.
as far as business, you know, and tattooing goes and stuff like that, you know. But like I said, mostly just feeling grateful because it's like, you know, it's been a rough economy, crazy stuff going on in the world and
Yeah,
this and
man.
that. So it's like I guess for right now I would be happy with more of the normalcy of getting by okay,
Yeah.
you know, as opposed to worrying about, you know.
For
But
sure.
yeah, and family wise, you know, yeah, just more more family time, vacations, you know, enjoying each other and just, you know.
It's always the
Yeah,
funnest
yeah.
stuff, man. But you're absolutely right. I mean, I think we would be. I think for someone who experienced the opposite side of it to say that, you know what, for me to find that stuff is just the reality though. And I told Amy that even from the last time I came in and got tatted that, like, I feel bad, man, because I know buddies, like, you know, the shop, they taking a hit right now, man, because
Yeah, yeah.
you know, a lot of people are just trying to navigate life, and last thing on their mind is like tattooing and stuff like that,
Yeah, yeah.
or piercing or any of the sort, you
Right,
know.
yeah.
So
We're a luxury item, you know what I
yeah,
mean? So, you know.
right. And I think that's the exact words that Amy said. It's a luxury item that people aren't really thinking about. But
Yeah.
you know what? I gotta say, like, one of the most heartwarming things, and again, it's like from a tattoo, and you get heartwarming from a tattoo. But from the when you do the Friday the 13th pulls, you
Yeah,
know,
oh,
like,
we got one coming up too,
yeah,
man.
man.
Yeah.
When's that one coming up? This month? Not this month.
Next month.
Next
Yeah,
month.
next month. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Those are, man. I think I kind of went. Oh, I did a live. I think that was the live stream that I did when I got my last tattoos when we went in. Because that is just cool, man, to see everybody kind of come out and do their Friday the 13th. And you know what? Maybe that's what they could put down, you know, because there's deals here at Friday the 13th, and maybe that's their way of supporting. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah. No, we get a lot of people come through, you know, and it's like, you know, there's a lot of places that do it for a higher price than that. You know, we give you something small and do it for $31. You know what I mean? And it's like it's a cool tattoo. It's a good time.
Yeah.
It's, you know, somebody that has tattoos but maybe isn't in a position to go get something big right then,
Yeah.
but just wants to get that, you know, that familiar feeling or get into the shop, you know, or support whatever, get a little something.
Yeah.
Like they get the opportunity to roll in and do that. Or like somebody that maybe has never had a tattoo,
Yeah.
they roll
And
in, you
let's
know?
do this. But I gotta say, man, the choices off the flash that you guys give is a pretty gnarly selection, man.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a
Yeah,
lot of stuff.
because some
Yeah.
of the places that offer just, you know, that are more expensive for what it is, they don't give you half the options of what you typically would get, and it's literally the way I think I actually loved it because I had never been. That last time I came was, I think, the
Oh,
first time
okay.
I had come in. I honestly think I was like, dude, that is gnarly because there literally is something that anybody could get on there.
Yeah,
Like,
we try and do a little something for everyone.
everybody
Exactly.
on there, you know, whether it was like the Rose or the LA tattoos or just super random stuff, man, and like bacon and eggs, or I don't even remember what else was on it,
Yeah, yeah.
but it was funny, man, like to actually see this too. So, you know, like I think every time that you guys run that offer, man, and Friday the 13th, man, and what better way to come in? And actually, what one of the coolest things that you actually offer too is a waiting list. Like
Yeah,
you
yeah.
sign in, dip out, and then they'll call you about a half an hour before it's time to come back in. And dude, I think a lot of places are like, "No, man, you're here and you're waiting." It's like, freaking for what, man? At that point, you're really just wasting the day, especially if the place is packed and it's stacked in here, man. It's super stacked, man.
Yeah.
So,
Well, it used to just be that, they would do like a 13 or something, or like, whatever, and it was like it wasn't all, it would like have a 13 in it or something was
yeah,
all, and it's like it wasn't, everyone didn't want that, so now it's like it's just an idea of like letting people come in who are either checking it out or just want to come support or just have a good time, be a part of it. And it's like we got all kinds of stuff. You
Yeah.
don't have to have a 13 in it. It can be a heart. It can be, a little flower. It can be
yeah,
something, a Jason mask, whatever.
Yeah.
It goes from one end to the other. So, like you said, this is definitely something for everyone.
everybody.
And that's the biggest part
And
of
people
it.
piece together like piece out the different flashes and make a pretty cool piece.
Yeah,
like at the
yeah,
end
yeah.
of the
Sometimes,
day,
yeah.
I was like,
people are doing
what
that,
the? And I forgot who had done one when I was here last time, and I was like, what? Actually, that's pretty fresh the way you pieced it all together, though, man. So yeah, it's fun times, man, and it's pretty much all hands on deck over here.
Yeah, we
with
get everybody in on that.
everybody. So how many staff do you have currently?
There's 5 of us.
Okay.
Counting myself. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then Andrew's the only one that does piercing, or do you have?
Yeah. Andrew's our only piercer right now, and everybody else. We got Maya, and Lucy, and Josie, and myself, and Andrew, like we said, and I mean, our Instagram too, the shop.
Yeah.
You can check it out, and it's got everybody's art on there.
Yeah,
And
we'll
then-
make sure we link it all on in the description, as well as if I could get the flash. Let me see where my little fat finger's at right here. I'll go ahead and drop in all that information right here. But you guys are in the LA area. It's definitely a shop that you want to, because shops, I mean, notoriously, some shops back in the days were really hardcore shops, man. Like, you go in there and you expect what you expect when you go in there, and you can't really cry about it. There's no real talking to HR. Like, do you hear what your employees are saying in there? It's you're in a tattoo shop, man, But I think that I've been here for, man, even before Squish was born. Squish was 14, rolling in here, it's always felt like a homey environment, man, which is kind of weird when you hear about it, like with the tattoo shop, man, that you have like, it's a homey environment, but it is, in all honesty, so it's definitely a place that you want to check out.
We got more of a family vibe,
Yeah,
it's like
100%.
The thing is, for us, is we actually care about your tattoo. Not that saying that other tattoo artists don't, but it's like, sometimes some people just want to do like the big stuff or whatever.
Yeah.
Like they're like, oh, I'm not interested in, doing this little stuff or whatever. But it's like, we're interested in doing whatever you want to get tattooed. It's like sometimes I'm doing something to be part of your story, and it's like, I'm doing this little tattoo because it means something to you. Therefore, it's like meaning something to me.
Yeah.
I'm having a good time doing it.
Right.
And then sometimes we're doing this big piece that's really artistic that we're really into as well, and we enjoy that part of it too. But it's like,
so it goes both ways off that.
absolutely.
But yeah, I think it was it's crazy. And then like even with the hours, because I've never been to one of those shops where they charge you per hour, I think, and it's like, damn, dude, like for one, they say if you have to ask, you can't afford it. It's like, damn, dude. Like, I think it's like the per hour type of deal too. It's like, I don't really know, at those ones.
Yeah.
But again, those are all different fields, and obviously I know that there's different fields in every shop that you go. But again, this has definitely been one of my favorites, and again, the environment hasn't changed. Things change over years, and this is definitely one of those consistents in your life that has always just kind of just remained the absolute same.
We try and keep it a little time warp in that way. We get with the times, but at the same time, you'll come in and you'll feel like you're hanging out with friends.
Yeah. And I feel the time where, well, like I said, I have to ask questions about the tattoo guns and then the skin thing that you put on top, because again, it's not something that I was used to seeing.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, whoa, what is this? All right, that's pretty fresh. Like, so, I asked my questions as well, too,
Yeah.
so.
We always call them tattoo machines, too.
Yeah.
That's the thing, yeah. I used to work for an old timer, and he would be like, because people would always call them guns.
Yeah.
And he was like, he would say, tattoo machine, it's a machine. You use it to do something. He's all, this is a gun. And he like,
The machines, this is a gun right here, man. Man, that's crazy, man. So, have you only primarily tattooed? Well, I know that this is like your shop, but have you ever done like guest spots at other shops anywhere? Or?
I've pretty much just tattooed here. You know what I mean? Like I just, I've tattooed in, conventions or something like that. You know what I mean? Or like, just a random, one-time thing or whatever. But mostly, yeah, my whole career has been at this place. And for me, it's like I said, I came from other places, but then I've been here since 1998.
Right.
So it's like, I love this place. You know what I mean? It's like, so like I have, and I feel like most of the people that work here, like this is a special spot for them. Even if they moved on or whatever, like they enjoyed their time here. It's like, I own the place now, even though I didn't before, so I've always taken it on as I work here. Nobody works for me. Everybody works with me. You know what I mean? So it's
and you can feel that vibe.
Well, because it's like, that's how it is. It's like, it's not, it's like I work for a living. You know what I mean?
Bosses
it's
here.
Like, yeah, we're going to have a good time. It's like you could be the same in front of me no matter what,
Yeah. Dude, and especially like Andrew, I mean, a buddy had mentioned Andrew, so we met Andrew when we had come here, and you know what, I'll drop the picture right here of Baby Squish and Andrew, because, look at his face when you see Squish, and it's funny, again, how many tattoo shops will allow like a kid, and even then she wasn't in this area right here, but we'd hang on the couch, and even we'd have rainy days sometimes, and there was just a movie playing, and we'd just be chilling. If nothing was going on,
That was the friend privilege.
Yeah,
right
you
there.
see that? That 100%,
Take a good look at that one, man.
Sweet, man. I love it, man. So there you guys go right there. And again, custom, not from a flash, hand drawn on my hand. So absolutely love it. But
3 leaves.
3 leaves, because I love my family. Me, I'm the biggest one, and then little Amy, and then Squish. So yeah, no, this is amazing, man. I love it, brother. Thank you.
Yeah, my pleasure. And let me clean this up, and then we'll roll on to the other one there.
Sweet. So anyway, as the battery is kind of coming to an end right now, as the time heals and everything, I'll make sure I put this up on the IG. So make sure you guys follow us at Park and Sip or at Bacon Fan for Life, and make sure you check it out. More so than anything, man, if you guys are ever in the LA area, and I say LA meaning Pasadena, Monrovia, all the surrounding areas, please be sure to check out In the Skin, man. Trust me, you're gonna love it. You're gonna find an artist you're gonna fall in love with, and they will be the existence of all your tattoos.
Yeah, give us a shot. Man. We'll win you over.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Thank you again, buddy, man, for doing this, man. Is there any final words?
Oh, just come in, check us out, man. Appreciate you, and I think if you roll in, you'll be happy with what you see. Everybody will treat you good.
Hell yeah, 100%. All right, guys. So again, thank you guys so much for watching. Again, if it's the first time you're here, please like, subscribe, share this with all your friends, and get the word of In the Skin out there. And we'll catch you on the other one. Peace, everybody.
Thank you.